Hey guys, I'm at one of my all-time favorite places in downtown St. Pete right now. It's a place called Bodega. I want you to think Cuban sandwiches, Latin American food, specialty juices. It's at 1120 on Central Avenue in downtown St. Pete. Now when you walk up, you see this exterior. It's super awesome, but we're actually gonna hang out today next door where they make juice.
Hey everybody, I'm George Sayer. I'm the owner of Bodega on Central in downtown St. Pete. We're a Cuban sandwich shop and a whole lot more. Here at Bodega, the one thing we do all day long, it's probably our specialty, is we roast pork. And the secret to our pork is the mojo marinade. And basically what mojo is, it's all over the Caribbean, and certainly Cuba. It's a basic sauce that you use to make a whole bunch of different things. And here we're gonna make really the most basic of mojos as possible. The key ingredients in mojo really is citrus. In the Caribbean, they use a lot of sour oranges, which are really harder to get here in the States. A good substitute is to mix orange juice and lime juice. From there, in a classic Cuban style mojo is always cilantro, fresh oregano, and lots of garlic. So we're gonna pulse this with our orange juice. You're gonna see really how simple a sauce this is to make. We're gonna add a little lime juice. You blend that together and you add spices. And this is where it can get as different as you want. We can do salt and pepper. We're gonna reinforce that oregano that we use by adding some dry oregano. And then we're gonna, again, reinforce that cilantro we used by adding some cumin. So you got, 1, 2, 3, 6 ingredients is pretty much the secret to Cuban cooking right there. So simple. You got your garlic and you got your citrus. From there, you can add seasonal stuff. So we can add chopped pineapple to this to take it in another direction, and roast some peppers, chop them up and mix it in there, and basically it just changes the complexity. We take this as a base, we marinate tofu in it. We use it as a dressing in some of our salads, but most of all what we do is we marinate our pork. So, I'm gonna get us a couple of pork butts. Por favor, pásame el puerco. Bien, gracias. So here we go. Pork butts, pork shoulders, whatever you want to call them. So if you can just imagine, all that citrus is going to start to break down that meat, and it's going to help to tenderize it. So that's it. That's mojo roast pork ready for the oven. All right, so the next step to the Cuban sandwich is obviously the bread. So, we like to take a lot of pride here at Bodega. We make everything ourselves. We don't serve anything we don't make except the bread. I would be crazy to think that we can come in here and make bread better than the bakeries in Ybor that have been doing it for 100 years. So we get ours from Casino Bakery. Sometimes you'll see on the crease in the top of the bread a piece of palm frond, and that's the way they still bake them today in Ybor, in this bakery and some of the other ones, is they take the raw dough and they lay a palm frond on it, so when the dough rises, you wind up with that crease. Tradition, I guess, that's been carried on for a long time.
All right guys, we're gonna try something different for Meet the Chef St. Pete. I'm gonna actually help put the sandwich together. I'm learning from the best here. I wanna be a master chef too.
You're gonna do great. Okay, so our ingredients, we keep it simple. We do our mojo pork, ham, Swiss, we do pickles, and mayo.
Okay.
So that's a Bodega Cuban sandwich.
Easy.
Some people put mustard, some people put salami. We think it overpowers the pork. We put so much effort in the pork that we really want that to shine through. So, on the bottom,
okay,
we put ham.
Ham?
Yep, that's good. Now fold it so it stays inside the bread. Perfect. Then we're gonna put some of our roast pork.
Okay.
We use a lot of pork, don't worry.
Pork. Go big or go home on the pork, folks.
We do pickles next. You want to try and lay them out a little bit so you get probably 4 slices diagonal. This way you get a little bit of pickle in every bite. Perfect.
3.5, works for me?
Works. Then we're gonna put some Swiss cheese on top.
Okay.
Perfect. That mojo that we marinated the pork in, we take a little bit of it and we puree it even further, and then we add some olive oil to it. So now it becomes more of a dressing than a marinade. And we put a little bit of that on the bread to let it soak in. And then the mayo. That's it.
Oh man, you guys. Now that's a sandwich.
That's
when
a
you
sandwich.
look at that, that is a meaty, hefty, hearty sandwich.
So we're gonna go over the sandwich press. And true to form, some good old whole butter. And that's it. What's great about that bread is when it gets toasted, it gets nice and crunchy on the outside, but it stays soft and fluffy on the inside. And that's the beauty of Cuban bread. You tap it a little bit with the spatula and it sounds almost like it's hollow inside. That's when you know it's ready. So, take a peek. It's looking good. You can hear that bread's nice and toasted, but it's still moist on the inside. Cheese is starting to melt. Not sure why, but Cuban sandwiches get cut on an angle. It's tradition. Who are we to mess with that, right? So you take your sandwich and you cut it nice on an angle like that, so you can see everything yummy inside. And there you go. Bodega's Cuban sandwich.
The art of the Cuban sandwich. Now everybody raves about this one here at Bodega. I'm gonna give it a go. You always gotta go down and dirty and nasty. I'm not even a pickle fan, but you need the pickle here to really balance out that pork and meat. I know I have this all over my face.
You know, we started this to make Cuban sandwiches, and we do a couple other things. But I think what makes us unique is now we're known for our vegan options and our vegetarian options. And I think the food, you know, Latin food lends itself to all the fruit and vegetables, but I think really my staff, the young folks from here in St. Pete, and they started taking the menu in different directions. And sure enough, so it's way more than just a Cuban sandwich place at this point.
Well, that's what I love about it, because everyone was like, oh, just get the sandwich there. But when you walk in, you got juices, you have so many things on the menu.
So yeah, we try to have as much fun as we can.
Man, again, you guys, I'm relatively new to town, and this is still my all-time favorite. If you're in the mood for a sandwich, you gotta check it out. George, it's always a pleasure. Until next time, right?
We'll see you again. Here's something that's pretty unique to Bodega, I think, in our juice bar. So this is sugarcane. We get it fresh cut in Miami, comes in a couple of times a week. What Latins call it is guarapo, and that's pure sugarcane juice. So we serve it over ice, and to cut that sweetness, we use a little fresh lime juice, and then some coconut water.
I know this video made you hungry. Like, share, and subscribe, and stay hungry, my friends.